Checking back in with Quincy City Council President, Councilor at Large Noel DeBona for an update of the latest City Council meeting. Hi, Noel. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. The merry month of May now upon us, and of course, that means budget time, right?
You bet. Budget time is coming.
Talk about the mayor's presentation, if you could.
Mayor came in last night and gave a good presentation. We're right around $372 million. It's a little bit of an increase from last year. Obviously, we obviously have that pension bond that we took. It's a little bit more than last year. I just got the budget last night myself in my hand, so I didn't really fine tune it really heavy and hard. But I know that 3.5 million will be going into education. I'm going to assume the obviously pension bonds, health insurance, I think is going to go up a little bit. Then you got, Quincy Police and Quincy Fire departments, which I would assume that are going to be a little bit of an increase. Your big fives are right there. Education, your retirements and pensions, your health insurance, and then your health insurance is for all the city employees, including fire and police and DPW and the whole 9 yards. So, and then you got so those are your five components. And education is the most important avenue. You've got to increase that at some point because you only get so much for Chapter 70 funding. So I think the education budget is pretty much up to 120 million, which is good. It's right a little bit under the 33%, a third of the total budget, which is good. And we'll deliberate more about it and it's moved into finance committee, and we'll deliberate more about each item. It'll probably be over a 2 to 3 day period. Over my course, this will be my seventh budget. We've done it a little differently. Each finance committee chairperson does it a little bit differently. We've done them on. He has done them on Saturdays. We've done them a full day on a Thursday or Friday. We've done them after meetings a couple different times. So we'll deliberate more about exactly the time frame of it. But we will get it in right in the middle of June. We'll be finished with it. Obviously, if we have to take more time for certain items, but we got adequate amount of time to get it in and deliberate about it and go through all the items.
And how is the process, Noel? As I understand, the council can either approve as is or cut, but can't add. Is that right?
That is exactly correct. We can approve as is. We can cut items. We can't add any budget items. We can recommend it maybe for next year, but it's pretty set in stone right now. So I think it looks like a decent budget. We've obviously taken care of some of our pension bond liabilities, which I thought were very important last year. I think the mayor and ourselves, we hit the sweet spot where rates are starting to really climb. If we presented that pension bond liability this year, I don't think it would have flown because of the rates being a little higher. And we got the sweet spot last year. We got in when the rates were good. I think we locked in at 1.71, which is extremely low for a percentage for a rate. And if we did it this year, it could be probably doubled. So it's changed so fast in 1 year. You see the rates, you see the feds raising rates. It's a whole different ball game, Joe. So I think we hit the sweet spot and we got lucky. So we presented it at the right time, and I think we're going to benefit from it obviously this year and the next 20 years. So good move.
One I was curious about, Noel, was the mayor included a provision for a community liaison for diversity and equity in the mayor's office. How do you feel about that?
I feel it's a good move, and we obviously have the commission. Our councilor Ian Kane is part of that. I think he's the chairperson, and I think it's a good move. And I believe they put it into the budget, and they'll deliberate a little bit more about it and come back to us from the commission to actually hire somebody. It looks like we're going to be doing it. Well, so at first the mayor was a little hesitant upon it, and then we formed a commission, and then the commission can bring recommendations forward, and we can act and move on them. So you have a collective group can collectively bring together ideas and solutions and brings it to the mayor and says, hey, listen, this is what the recommendation, and he can act on it. So I think it's a great thing. I think, city councilors, mayors, our mayor working together with commissions, different groups. And I think it's a great move. I really do. The schools have it. So, we want to be a little more in line with them. And I think this is a good move.
Okay, very good. I also understand the mayor presented district improvement financing plan to purchase 3 properties.
Yes. Some of these properties, some of the takings, well, I think it's going separate. The district improvement financing is for a couple of different items. It's 53 million and it's put into, we put it into finance. We'll deliberate a little bit more about that. There are a couple takings. Some of them are very, very blight. I want to say really, really terrible conditions, items that are in the downtown. 1620 Hancock we took last night. It was the old Tasso's pizza that burned down. I want to say it's close to 20 years ago. And it's been sitting there and everybody's been driving by going, what are you guys going to do something about that? And we're waiting for the proper timing. We put it in the URDP just recently last year, I believe. And we're making moves on it. Councillor Palmucci and myself, we did resolutions and about this years and years ago about this particular areas in the downtown where we can spark growth and economically move forward. But we have these blight properties sitting around, so we have to make moves. People say, well, whatever. How long we've been working on this? Joe, we've been working on this ever since I got on the council. So 8+ years since the downtown has been moving, since Streetworks has pulled out. So it's time. I mean, we've waited a long, long time to do this, and we thought we did it right. And I think it's the good move.
Very good. What else do you think was important, Noel?
I brought forward a resolution for the TPAL director to come forward in front of us. Traffic, parking, alarm, and lighting. It's a very something that was established back in July of 2016. We had Mike Coffey in there, and then Chris Cassani, and now Ed Grenihan's in there. I've been in close contact with Ed, Director Grenihan, about these items. I just want to have just a spot check of the city and what we're doing to mitigate traffic, and as well as making it a pedestrian and driver friendly city. It's obviously we've had a lot of things have happened over the last years with folks that have actually gotten hit by vehicles. It's unfortunate that some folks have passed away from it. It's nothing against what we're doing, but we just want to be on the same page. We want to be a little more proactive on letting the public know what we're doing for the city. A lot of the new streets that have been put in, even in the downtown and all across, the Mass DOT, they have a lot of guidelines and new systems and protocols that they have to put in, bike lanes and pedestrian and the proper footage for sidewalks and stuff. That's really good. That we're almost forced, if we're going to take some of the funding from them, that we're going to have to do it their way. So this will, in conjunction, will be a little bit more talking about what we're doing in the city, what type of measures we have for crosswalks. If you look around the city, Joe, we have a lot more crosswalks with lighting and they're solar panels. So you got to find a telephone pole that you can put it on that's going to get sunlight. So if you're under a whole bunch of trees that have a lot of brush underneath them or a lot of branches with leaves, you're not going to be able to get the solar power from it. So there's a master plan. They've done a lot for the city, and I just want to make it forward for the presentation to the city council from the director. So we're looking forward to that. I put that forward. Other than that, a lot of the other items that got put into committees, and we'll deliberate more about them later, Joe. Well, looks like we're into May here, so we got May into our last meeting. I believe is June 22nd. It's a little later. It's Juneteenth Day is the Monday, and we have a last meeting the next day, which is Tuesday. So it gives us adequate time from now into the budget. And Councilor Chuck Phelan is our chairperson for finance. We also have Councilor McCarthy is our ordinance chair, and we'll have some more ordinance stuff coming out. Obviously, Joe, that we have to get some stuff done before our summer break. So looking forward to all the deliberations and having the councilors give their input and what's important to them.
Did the Eagle Scouts make it last night, Noel?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You can't forget them. The Quincy Scouts Troop 42, we did our Eagle Scout presentation. Myself and Counselor Palmucci helped me out. He did a great job with it. We actually had about 12 Eagle Scouts that had that highest honor for their leadership, and it's great. And we had actually 2 young women that became Eagle Scouts, and it was really nice to see them up there as well. So it's really nice. We had a nice presentation at the beginning of the meeting. We had a nice photo. Hopefully, the Quincy Sun will put it in and recognize them. We also don't want to forget Troop 6 that's down House Neck. They're also coming up with their scouts as well very soon, and coming up this particular weekend or the next weekend, and they're doing it. So all the troops across the city of Quincy, we want to recognize them with the Eagle Scouts and doing a great job with their community service around the city. So Troop 42 did a great job last night.
Very nice, very nice. And I'm sure we'll see you out and about at Cleaner, Greener Quincy on Saturday.
Sure will, Joe. I'll be down there and coming to a few different parks and particular areas to help out. And then we go down to Pageant Field at 12:30 for a little bit of a cookout, a great festivity. Hopefully, Joe, I don't know your weather report here. Hopefully it's good weather. And hopefully everything clears up today. It's a little rain last night, which was good for the grass and some of the flowers and stuff. And so.
Yeah, we're getting there. Spring in New England could do about it. Appreciate it. No, always good to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Joe, for your time, and I appreciate it. And happy May.
Thank you. Same to you. Bye-bye.